Life with you is the best life. Yeah, you take life and make it so much better. Life with you is the best life. I'm living my best life with you.
What's up, you guys? This is your girl, Erica L, and your boy. Guess what, y'all? We are back. So, look, this week, let me tell you something. This powerhouse that we have on today, you do not want to miss it. But first, let me welcome you back to Beauty Life Guide Podcast. If you have not subscribed, tell a friend, tell your mama and cousin them, today is the day to do it. Because what we are bringing you today is some amazing insight, beautiful information that will help you better in life. So, Jamaica, I'm going to let you introduce our girl today.
Well, today we have our very own. She is a mother, a serial entrepreneur, a doula, a writer, an author, a teacher, a lover of God, yes, a pursuer of purpose, a thrift shopper, and a forward thinker. We will introduce right now our girl, LaShana Thomas. What's up, girl?
Hey.
It's so good to have you on this podcast today. The title today will be Our Marching Orders, a shift for our culture and community. So basically today we're going to talk about what we feel like that is going on in our community as Black Americans. I'm not going to say African Americans out there, Black Americans, and how we can help and how are stopping our community from being the greatest that it can be in everything. But before
I'm ready. Blue pedal?
Hey, see, me, no.
To God be the glory. To God
Oh, girl,
be
I'm ready. Praise him. Hey, and look, Amen is, look, the church.
Amen.
That's it. So this one is one more I got that says, shout to blank blank out of blank blank. Shout to.
Try to make a way out.
So the clue is when you have to split something to get the most out of it.
Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
That's it. That's it. That's it. And I know it's a hard one. It's YGMMU.
You got me messed up.
You don't have to train. You don't have to train. Feels across the river. Feels across the board. She got
All the way. Jamaica, you see how fast? Because she used this type of term. She be using these terms right here.
I knew she would have got it to put the F in it. Because I was trying to be, on my side, you're saying, that's how I put the F. I love it. Congratulations. So when she tells the basketball, you're showing right now, we just want you to tell us a little bit more about yourself. What you got going on?
So first of all, thank you both for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I really want to say I think I proved that I am a Black woman by knowing all of those but thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys for taking up space in our digital communities to help spread awareness, to have some fun, some good, clean, healthy content. So thank you both for that. So, you said everything about me. I'm a serial entrepreneur. You name it, I've done it or will do it. Fear is not my friend. I am learning to live and thrive in purpose. I love all things God. I love my children, my family, my friends. I don't meet an enemy. If they don't like me, it's because they don't know me. So I want everybody to leave my presence feeling better because they met me. And if they don't, then I want a second chance because that I feel like it's my life's mission. So, and then you said what I got going on. So I'm going to make a big announcement in the next few weeks, but I'll give y'all a little preview. We're going to be having a gala.
Okay.
July the 19th, and we have a special guest coming. So get your boots out.
Okay.
Get your fans. And we're going to be ready.
I'm trying to, but I ain't gonna have no fan.
It's okay. That's all right.
That's a hard in the subject.
Yeah.
And we ain't gonna
But you put your boots on.
So
You get your boots on. That's all you need.
no, okay. Never mind.
We can get you one of the church fans. Not the fan, but a church fan.
Not this fan, but the other
I'm
fan.
trying to stay on this side and not in council.
No, don't get canceled. Don't worry about it. That's okay.
Don't even worry about it. Never mind. Don't.
Leave the check. All right.
So,
Eric, what's your first question you got?
So, as a doula, I believe that, which that profession I think is a beautiful profession to have. My question to you, how do you feel that Black women take childbirth seriously or not? If that's a good way to word it. Like, how do you feel as a Black woman? How do you think as Black women, how aware are we about childbirth?
So just a little background about how I became a doula to kind of bring my answer around out to your question.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had my daughters, I had both my daughters natural, no epidural. And so after I had the first child with no epidural, they were like, "You must think you Superwoman." You know, they had all these adjectives to describe me, and was just like, I can't believe you did it. But then I realized that there was so many health disparities for African American women as it relates to childbirth. So I think that even if we as Black women take it serious, it's the healthcare system that causes us to not be taken serious in those settings. They tell you need an epidural, it helps with pain, but they don't tell you the pain that an epidural causes your back months and years later down the road. Right. Or they don't tell you, hey, your healing process may take longer. You can't feel your legs. You don't know when to push. You don't know when to do certain things. And so they really strap you to a bed, put you to a monitor, and take your rights from you in childbirth. So as a doula, what I do is I become your best friend in birth. So there's a difference between a midwife and a doula. A doula cannot actually catch a baby. They can't deliver a baby. They can assist mom, but the midwife is there for baby. Being a doula has allowed me to be the voice for mom to say, "Hey, she said she didn't want medication. Let's not ask mom again." Or, "Hey, she wants to get up and walk," to try pain measures, to teach healthy pain measures to alleviate you needing the pain medication. So I think that we as a culture, as African American women, I think we take it serious. We can become more educated, but we are in a system that was not created for us. So no matter how we know, it's going to always be helpful to have an advocate to make sure that you get the best care possible.
So to piggyback off that real quick, as a man being on the other side that I was educated about women childbirth and pregnancy, how do we encourage and motivate on our side?
So what I do when I come into a situation, whether it's the boyfriend, the husband, or, some women have their male best friend or male cousin, whoever the male is that's occupying that space, I ensure them that while the mom is birthing, you still have a part to play. So you become the person who says, "Okay, I got your back. Do you need ice? Do you need to get up and walk? Can I hold your hand? Can I give you a positive affirmation? Can I affirm that you're doing well? Is there something that I can go and tell the nurse while you're here in this room? Can I protect your privacy?" Because when you're having a baby, it's spread eagle. Everybody walking in the room, the janitor, the dietary people, and they like, "Girl, it's fine. We done seen it before." So, you being the male in the room, you can pull the curtain closed. Do you feel comfortable with this? Asking questions, whatever you don't know in that space, feeling comfortable, not only asking questions, but affirming to your partner or the person that you're there supporting, "I'm here with you and I'm not leaving you."
Right. That makes a lot of sense. Because, we're in that transition of, one day wanting to have kids and all that. So that's great information to know that there is room for growth in pregnancy and, bringing on a child, because some people are not educated enough in our community that it's a lot having children. I see me keep leaning over. I have a filter on the side of me that's trying to act up. So y'all see me leaning, don't be upset. He doing good, but he's gonna act up in a minute. Right. Okay, so my next question. In you being in the platforms and in the spaces that you've been, have you ever had a moment of imposter syndrome?
I don't think so. I think that because I thrive best showing up as my authentic self. I don't try or strive to be anything more than what I am. Now, I will tell you, I code switch. I can be bonquisha, like, I'm not to be played with. Like, okay,
Right.
girl, listen.
Let's the way, girl.
Okay, don't play with me. Okay, or I can go corporate. Hi, my name is LaShayla. Sound like Fox 6 News. So I do have the ability to code switch, and that's something that I take pride in because I can go to all types of events and functions, and I can go in the neighborhood and be accepted. I can go to the fish fry the barbecue and be accepted. Right. I can go in the boardroom and be accepted. So I don't think that I deal with imposter syndrome because I show up as my authentic self. Right. I just know which self to present in which environment.
So what is some backlash on code switching? Like, a lot of people, because I know me, I can go with the best of them and the rest of them. But I can go to the hood and the holiest place too. But you get a lot of, that saying, you're acting white or you're acting this way because you don't have to be that chameleon or that butterfly that has flown into other formats and know how to thrive in every aspect that your life brings to you. That
I think the issue here is not just from my perspective. Now, this is just my opinion. I think that when it comes to code switch, people feel some type of way about it when it's more than code switching, it's behavior switching. So if I go and I'm around my white counterpart, I can sound like them, but I don't need to forget that I'm an African American woman that sits at a table as a minority. So I think that for some people, when they code switch, they don't just change their vernacular, the way they talk. Right. They change their action and being on the side of, hey, I need to be an advocate and I need to be an ally. We forget that code switching doesn't negate that we're an ally and an advocate. So whether I talk like this or if I be like, oh yeah, I'm on that type of time, I'm still an advocate for my Black and brown people, no matter how I sound. And not everybody has mastered that. They think if they sound like this, then they have to demean and put down our Black and brown sisters, and that's not true.
Anthony, I want you to give us this because you're in the beauty industry, and that kind of gives us, in that industry, we have to be a lot of heads and a lot of things, and we have to be that kind of chameleon. So what have you seen in that aspect of being a code switch, but also you see people be imposters too?
So to piggyback off of LaShayla, I was actually fortunate enough to grow up in a predominantly white area. I'm actually from Tennessee, but we moved to St. Louis when I was very young. And so I went into a school where everybody did not look like me, but I was equipped for it because of how my mom and my peers raised me. They showed me how to be able to function in a whole different space, from white, from Black, from Asia, whatever. I was able to adapt. So that has actually helped me in a lot of areas, actually, for my career wise, because of the adapting to the code switching. I think that I personally kind of mastered that as well because you never want to go into a room showing people that you're a chameleon. You are who you are. You are exactly who God made you to be. So that should never be the question. But we can't get in a place where we get lost in the room. You command the room, you command the space, you know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, anybody or anything can try to make you something that you're not. And so in this industry, in the makeup and the hair and esthetician, all the stuff, the many hats that I wear, I've learned to always be me, and always, every time that I'm dealing with a client, I can see myself in them. And so especially with makeup, I am always encouraging women, hey, this is just to enhance your beauty, enhance who you actually are, to speak life into them, to show them that they are perfect in who God had created them to be. So there's no point of you switching it up. Oh, can you just totally, if it's not a space for theater makeup, we're going to go as natural as possible. We're going to make you who you are. We're going to show your resilience. We're going to show your beauty. So to sum everything up, yes, I believe in code switching, that we have to be able to master that, because we have to be able to adapt in multicultures, because we already have the spotlight on us. Everywhere we go, it's a magnifying glass on us. They want to know where we come from, what we're doing, why are you here? That's already the layout when we walk into a room. So yeah.
That's good. I think mine's I had to come to the realization I don't have to be the loudest to be seen. And I think that's where I was becoming an imposter because I felt like that I had to be seen or heard before I was seen. And a lot of times, you hear the loudest person in the room, they're the most intimidated by everyone else in the room. And learning that I don't have to do that, and my presence stands alone, was the greatest thing that I learned to how to be myself in a room and how to carry myself with dignity. If I'm in the hood or if I'm in the church house or if I'm in a Congress room, I know that my presence being in a room carries weight without me having to say anything. And it's a saying by Abraham Lincoln that I can't remember how it goes verbatim, but I think he says you only know a fool until they open their mouths. You can sit there and say nothing that people can assume you're a fool, but as soon as you open your mouth and start talking foolish, you're a fool, like they assume. So, yeah, you can assume whoever I am before I get there, but once my presence and my words come out knowledgeable, and I come out perceiving myself as knowing what I'm talking about, and not trying to be more than what I think I am, I think we become a good place.
Kind of discussing being loud. I think a lot of times in just culture and society, period, we get this stigma that when we are loud or voice our opinion, we're automatically angry. So with Shayla, to kind of to steer me in the right direction, maybe you can answer this, but why do you believe that's a stigma for us?
Black women especially.
Yeah.
You said black women especially?
Yes, y'all look that bad. That y'all angry black women all the time. It don't matter what size.
Because when we are loud or we express ourselves or our no's be our no's and our yes be our yes, we may be assertive, but automatically we get labeled as angry or bitter or uncontrollable, can't control our emotions. So what do you have to say about that?
I think it goes back to slavery and all of that, because if you think about it, black women have been oppressed for the better of our existence. And so oppression, it bled over into the church. The white men constructed our, the slaves were watched while having church. The men were allowed to speak, the women were not. And so we come from that, we come into politics. When women enter in politics, all of a sudden they're in an arena they shouldn't be in, or certain sports or certain things. There's always that judgment of put us in our place. And so for some women, loud is simply, I've been in the back, I've been quiet for so long, hear me. I just want to be heard. And then I think culturally, you think when we start to have a good time, our voice elevates, we're laughing, we're loud. That's just our nature. It's who we are because we carry that thought in our belly. But I think it's assumed that we're angry, that we're upset as a means of manipulation. Because if my white counterparts, or even sometimes some of my weaker black and brown counterparts can assume because I'm talking loud, I'm angry, they know it frustrates me. And if it frustrates me, now I do become defensive. Now I do become assertive. Now I do start to respond in anger and say things that, I probably would not have said had they not made those assumptions. So sometimes I think it's a point of manipulation. And then other times, I think it's just a cultural thing. Sometimes we yell at our kids, or, in arguments, we yell. It's just simply saying, hey, I want to be heard. Hear me. Listen to what I'm saying. And so we're not taught to argue at a whisper. We're not taught to debate at a whisper. Even as a child, your parent, they can tell you, hey, go sit down. And if you don't sit down, it turns into, did I not say go sit down? And so we're taught the escalation of the voice demands attention. So being taught those things and then effectively using those skills sometimes in arguments, it's a double-edged sword.
Let's get it. Life with you is the best life. Yeah, you take life and make it so much better. Life with you is the best life. I'm living my best life with you.